Welcome back. In this step, let's look at how you can actually design good solutions with virtual machines. There are a lot of architectural characteristics that we typically talk about. Let's review them and let's see how you can achieve them using a virtual machine. Availability. Are the applications available when your users need them? If you want high availability for your virtual machines, you can create availability sets and scale sets. And you can load balance using a load balancer. Scalability. What is scalability? Scalability is all about, can we handle a growth in users, traffic, or data size without any drop in performance? Let's say an application has 10,000 users, and let's say the number of users double very quickly. Can we handle that growth? That is what is scalability. Whenever we talk about scalability, there are two types of scaling. One is vertical scaling, where you increase the hardware that is available for your instance. Instead of deploying an application to a small instance, you would deploy it to a large instance. So deploying an application or a database to a bigger instance is called vertical scaling. For example, you increase the size of your hard drive. You increase the CPU size which is attached with your virtual machine instance. You'd want to have more RAM or CPU or IO or networking capabilities associated with your virtual machine. That is what is called vertical scaling. In Azure, for a virtual machine, you can increase the size of a virtual machine. You can go and select your virtual machine. Over here, you can go over to size. Once you go over to size, you'll be able to change the size of a virtual machine to a new size. So instead of B1S, you can choose B2S or something else. As you can see in here, whenever you change the size, the virtual machine will be restarted. However, very important thing to remember is that there are limits to vertical scaling. There is a maximum amount of memory that you can have on a specific system. Beyond that, you cannot increase memory. And that's why typically we go for horizontal scaling. In horizontal scaling, we deploy multiple instances of an application or a database. For example, earlier when we created a scale set, we deployed 2 instances of a virtual machine. Using a scale set, I can increase the number of instances to 3, 4, or 10 if I would want. So we are creating multiple virtual machine instances and we are load balancing between them using a load balancer. This is what is called horizontal scaling. Typically, horizontal scaling is preferred to vertical scaling. Why? Because vertical scaling has limits. Beyond a limit, you cannot increase the amount of CPU. Beyond the limit, you cannot increase the amount of memory. Vertical scaling can be very expensive as well. Buying a very powerful CPU might be really expensive. And the other important reason is horizontal scaling not only increases the performance, but also increases availability. Even if one of these instances goes down, the application can be served from the rest of the instances. However, you don't get that with vertical scaling. If you increase the size of an instance, if it fails, the complete application is down. However, with horizontal scaling, even if one of the instances is down, you can serve the application from the other instances. But horizontal scaling needs additional infrastructure. You need scaling sets, you need load balancers, and a lot of other things. So with VMs, you can handle scalability in 2 ways. Vertical scaling by increasing the size, horizontal scaling by using scale sets and load balancers. Typically, the type of scalability which is preferred with virtual machines is horizontal scalability. You'd want to be able to create a scale set, you'd want to be able to create a load balancer to load balance between them, and you also want to enable auto scaling so that the number of instances increases and decreases based on the load. The next architectural factor that we would consider is resilience. What is resilience? The ability of a system to provide acceptable behavior even when one or more parts of the system fail. If I have a scale set with 10 instances and let's say one of them goes down, what would happen? Will the application go down? Nope. The application will not go down because we have a load balancer. Load balancer will be able to identify that the virtual machine is down and it will not send the request to the failed machine. It will only send the request to the active virtual machines. So even if one of the parts of the system fails, we are able to provide acceptable behavior. The next important architectural consideration is geo-distribution. What is geo-distribution? It's all about distributing applications across multiple regions and multiple zones. With virtual machines, you can create a scale set and you can distribute the application across multiple availability zones. If you want to create applications across different regions using virtual machines, then you need to create 2 scale sets. one in region 1 and the other one in region 2. The next important factor to consider is disaster recovery. How do you keep your applications running in face of disasters? If an entire region fails, if an entire data center fails, how can you protect yourself? In those kind of situations, you will need to go for site recovery. What is site recovery? Inside the virtual machine, you can type in site and you can go to disaster recovery. Azure Site Recovery can replicate your virtual machines to another region for business continuity and disaster recovery needs. So over here, you can choose the target region. So over here, you can choose the target region and you can say start replication. I'm not going to enable that right now, but it's very, very important that you know that there is something called site recovery. Site recovery helps you with disaster recovery for virtual machines. You can set up site recovery, you can select a target region, and whenever there's an outage in the source region, the virtual machine will be deployed to the target region. The last consideration whenever we are designing good solutions is costs. You want to keep your costs as low as possible. The way you can do that is by using reservations. You can create a 1 year or a 3 year reservation as we looked at earlier. You can use spot instances if you have fault tolerant workloads which are not immediate, which are not important right now. And you can also enable auto scaling. Increase the number of instances and decrease the number of instances based on load. This is also called elasticity. Based on the load, we are increasing or decreasing the number of instances. The last but the most important factor to consider is security. You need to always secure your VMs. We already saw that to SSH into your VM, you would need a private key. In addition, you can also improve the security of your VMs by going for dedicated hosts. A little later in the course, we'll also look at how you can create your own virtual networks and how you can create network security groups and further secure your virtual machines. In this step, we looked at how you can design good solutions with virtual machines. We looked at the different factors to consider, and we looked at some of the important features in Azure VMs which can help. I'm sure you're having a wonderful time, and I'll see you in the next step.